Wonderland. It was supposed to be a formal and memorable evening in Washington. But within moments, gunshots shattered the atmosphere.
It was supposed to be a formal and memorable evening in Washington. The room was packed with guests. The atmosphere was serious, important, and full of anticipation. People had taken their seats, the stage was set, and the event had begun with all the expected ceremony. The key figures had arrived, the formal introductions had been made, and the night seemed to be unfolding exactly as planned. For everyone in the room, it felt like the beginning of a major occasion. No one expected that, within moments, the entire atmosphere would change. From the back of the ballroom, where many guests and media personnel were seated, everything seemed normal at first. The evening had only just begun. Then, suddenly, a sound broke through the room. Gunshots. For a brief second, there was confusion. Many people didn't immediately understand what they had heard, but within moments, the reaction from security made it terrifyingly clear that this was no misunderstanding. Secret Service agents rushed into the room. They moved fast, charging straight through the ballroom with urgency. Some came down the center, others moved around the surrounding tables, shouting at people to get down, and take cover under the tables. Panic spread instantly. What had started as a carefully controlled event had suddenly become a scene of fear and uncertainty. The first priority was clear: protect the most important people in the room. The president and other senior figures were quickly removed from the stage and taken out. After that, other high-ranking officials were escorted away one by one. But for the hundreds of people left behind inside the ballroom, there were very few answers. All they knew was that something serious had happened. The room was filled with confusion. There were well over 1,000 people inside, all trying to understand the same thing at the same time. People looked at each other, whispered, crouched under tables, and tried to gather information in any way they could. But even that proved difficult. Phone service was weak. Digital signals were unreliable. The security perimeter had effectively locked the room down. Doors were closed, and no one could simply walk outside to see what was happening. People were stuck inside while security teams and law enforcement searched the area and worked to secure the scene. That uncertainty made the experience even more intense. Inside the room, fragments of information slowly began to spread. Some witnesses said they had heard multiple shots. Others reported seeing someone carried away, apparently still alive, but no one inside had the full picture. In moments like this, rumors travel quickly, but facts move slowly. Outside, the scale of the security response began to come into focus. This had not been an easy location to enter in the first place. Roads around the hotel had already been blocked off. Security had been visibly tight throughout the evening. Protesters had gathered across the road earlier, though they appeared to be at a distance. Guests attending the event had gone through repeated checks before entering the ballroom. Tickets had been inspected. Metal detectors had been used. Additional screening had taken place inside the hotel itself. By every visible measure, this was a heavily secured event, and yet somehow, a major security scare had still unfolded. As more details emerged, it became clear that the suspect had breached what should have been one of the most secure areas surrounding the venue. Security footage reportedly showed the attacker moving through a key barrier near the hotel entrance. That revelation only deepened the shock of the moment. If someone could get that close in such a tightly controlled environment, it raised urgent questions about exactly how the incident had happened. Back inside the ballroom, the confusion continued for several long minutes. People stayed low. Others tried desperately to send updates, contact colleagues, or reach family members, but the communication blackout made all of that harder. The room had become a space suspended between danger and uncertainty. No one knew whether the threat was over. No one knew whether there was more to come. Eventually, attention shifted from immediate survival to understanding. What exactly had happened? Who had fired the shots? Was anyone injured? And perhaps most importantly, How had such a dramatic breach occurred at an event protected by layers of visible security? What made the moment even more chilling was the location itself. The hotel is one of the most well-known venues in Washington, D.C., and it already carries the weight of history. Decades earlier, it was also linked to another attack on a U.S. president, a reminder that some places become part of the national memory for the worst possible reasons. And now, on this night, it had once again become the center of a presidential security scare. For those inside the room, it was not just another news event. It was a moment they lived through in real time, one that shifted from ceremony to chaos in seconds. What began as a high-profile evening turned into a lockdown, an evacuation, and a desperate scramble for information. In the end, what people will remember most is how quickly normality disappeared.
One moment, it was a formal gathering in one of Washington's most secure settings. The next, it was a room full of frightened people taking cover beneath tables, listening for answers that did not come fast enough. And that is what made the night so extraordinary. Not just the gunshots, not just the security response, but the sudden collapse of certainty inside a place where certainty was supposed to be guaranteed.